My gosh, I'm back to talking. I haven't talked in quite a bit. Good morning. If you tuned in around 9 o'clock, you know it's time for Lovebabz Love Talk. I'm not spinning music today. I am talking.
Hey.
And I have the fabulous Eric Ray in studio with me today.
Good
so
morning.
wait, before I say something about you, before I talk about you, let me tell you why you're here.
Okay.
So the New Haven Free Public Library, an anchor institution of the Elm City Innovation Collaborative, the ECIC, is excited to announce the new in-residence appointments in Ives Squared. Funded by Connecticut Next Innovation, places state grant awarded, Connecticut Next Innovation places state grant awarded to ECIC, the Entrepreneur in Residence, the EIR, and Creative in Residence, the CIR, will share their specialized skills through workshops and one-on-one office hours conducted at Ives Squared, situated in Ives Main Library, 133 Elm Street, beginning in September through January 2020. So Eric Ray will serve as the entrepreneur in residence. Eric is a dynamic speaker and facilitator with a talent for bringing people together to achieve their life goals. He began his career working with men and women returning home from incarceration to help them find the basics, job, housing, and more elusive goals like fulfillment and resilience. Eric has also served as a coach to nonprofit executives, new entrepreneurs, and is a mediator and a trainer. Creating spaces of inclusion and safety are his strengths and reflect his passion for people. In addition to his private coaching practice through Potent Perspective Coaching, he also started a soup delivery service with his brother. And what's your brother's name?
Alejandro.
Yes. Called Sopa, New Haven. Eric will hold weekly office hours and create regular workshops in Ives Squared, ranging from chief executive artists to women in business and keep your wits. A workshop to cultivate resilience and maintain purpose while starting a business. So I love this press release. That's why I was like deliberately wanting to read it, because I thought it was so well done and chock full of the information that I wanted to say.
Cool.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Fabulous party at Bergamo's.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And your wife is amazing.
She is absolutely lovely.
I would marry her too. I like her very much. She's fun and she's smart and she's pretty to look at, let me tell you.
She's great.
Yeah. All right, so tell me about this entrepreneur in residence.
Yeah.
So it's like doctor in residence. Like if I had a cold, I go see the doctor on call. You're like that?
Yeah, it is kind of like that actually. Yeah. So as the press release mentioned, I'll have office hours. I think one of the reasons they chose me is because of my coaching background.
Okay.
And
you know something about people and the way people think and work.
Yeah. Yeah. and also a little something about, kind of using the resources that you have, on personally inside to kind of help propel your success. Right. And so that was part of my vision with this position, was that, I think there are resources for people to be able to get a business plan or a marketing strategy and stuff like that. And that's great. And I'll help direct people, and I'll do some of that stuff with folks. But I think what I have found to be particularly challenging and also incredibly valuable was what you learn about yourself as you're starting and running a business. And that's kind of the area that I wanna focus in.
I like that. I'm going to come see you. I started an LLC maybe 10, 15 years ago. I have not done a damn thing with it.
Ah, well, it's time.
It's time.
Come see me.
I'm coming to see you.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
like right there. I'm like, I'm a knock, Babz.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the idea. I think for me, there's a way in which so much of what we do professionally there's a reflection on who we are as individuals, and the way that we work and the way that we connect and relate with individuals. So much of our day-to-day lives are built on relationships, and so the way, and that doesn't preclude the relationship with yourself, right? And so my sort of angle on this is to try to help people really connect with what's going on inside themselves. What's the purpose? Typically starting a business is much larger than just I'm going to be my own boss. There's something underlying that is compelling people, because not everybody does it, right? And not everyone can be successful at it. So that's sort of the idea with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching, well, see, this is a kind of a tough question to answer, because for me,
like, you've been coaching all your life.
Yeah, I've been coaching all my life, right? Like this is how I relate to people. This is how I interact with folks. I formally pursued coaching about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
I was working for the DeStefano administration in the reentry department.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the mayor's office. Yeah. I was the community organizer. For the reentry department. And when he announced that he wasn't running again, he gave us about a year's runway to kind of figure out what we're going to do, what was next. And that's when I discovered coaching as like an actual legit profession. I had no idea that such a thing existed. I sort of came to it by way of therapy. I thought maybe I'll go into therapy because I really enjoy that kind of one-on-one work with people. And then I found coaching, and it was, I read the descriptions, I did my research, and it like this sounds like me right now. Yeah. So let me go pursue that. So, yeah. I found a school. I went to the Coaches Training Institute. I got certified through the school, so I'm a certified professional coactive coach. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have that was the first little initials after my name. I was very proud. Yeah. So coaching has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, and formally, for like the last 3.5, maybe 4 years. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So you're doing this thing at the library at Ives Squared, which is a lot of good stuff is happening there.
It's a beautiful space. In there.
I love that cafe component.
It's amazing.
And I see that Orchid Cafe is coming over there to run the cafe part, which is nice, because then there'll be some real food in there.
There will be. Not, what else will be in there?
What?
Sopa.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's very exciting. It's sort of this weird sort of confluence of things, because I'll be there regularly, doing the entrepreneur in residence thing. But then my soup will be in the cafe there. Wow. So it's
see, now you need to network with the bread people.
Yeah. It's coming. Coming. No,
you need to work out a life, because there's some bread people in town.
Yeah. Oh, no, Chibasso, we're coming.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, interestingly enough, the guys, two gentlemen from Chibasso were our advisors when we were going through collab.
Okay.
And so we've already, we have a relationship with them.
Nice.
And we'll be kind of rounding back to say, hey, we're ready to start purchasing some bread from you all.
Yeah, because you know soup and bread go hand in hand.
Of course.
What?
Now we need to find some like artisanal butters
Oh!
to go with the bread.
Some vegan artisanal butters
some vegan
too.
Artisanal butters, of course. Right.
Oh my God, that'll be my life for the winter. Like I would, like my crock pot would be on sabbatical.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, do those soups freeze well?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. They
I like that.
They do. They hold really well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Because your brother told me y'all were
time.
starting up again September?
We are. Yeah, we're gonna launch with 2 tastings in September.
Okay.
We're introducing some new soups.
On top of the good ones you already got?
On top of the good ones that we have.
Oh man.
Yeah,
what can you tell me?
Yeah. Well, because we're not sure yet.
Okay.
Here's the 2 things that we are absolutely sure that we're going to be doing. We're going to be introducing a bone broth.
Oh, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal. So we're treading lightly on it. We're going carefully with it, but yeah,
that's a big deal because I buy it already packaged up. But if I could buy it freshly made,
yeah, we're gonna do a nice bone broth. It's gonna be like a 1.5 to 2 day simmer.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
Look, I'm already like.
We're really excited about it.
Like my head is already swimming. Like,
yeah, you know what's funny? Everyone we talk to has the same exact reaction. People are just like, "Oh my God, yes, please do that." But actually, the idea came because I have a good friend who's a doula.
Oh.
And so in conversations with her, one of the things that she said generally about soup, just generally, was that it's really good for recently postpartum mothers.
Okay.
Because of the challenges that they have in terms of digestion, but also the need for a lot of nutrient-rich, nutrient-dense food.
Yeah.
Particularly for women who are breastfeeding, but just generally in terms of recovery.
No, soup is amazing.
Yeah, and it's just easy to digest, so it's easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
And so she said soups would be great, and that she was going to be introducing us to all of her clients. And then I said, well, we're also thinking about doing a bone broth, and she almost fell out of her seat.
That's a whole movement. This whole bone broth people.
It is. Yeah.
Like the keto people. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, it is.
And the bone broth can be the catalyst for a lot of other things. Like you could pour it into other things.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's almost like I would consider it a stock, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although it's good on its own. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
With some bread, it's good on its own. But if you want to, jazz it up, you can throw it underneath something, vegetables, and, you can use it for other things.
For sure. Well, there's that restaurant in New York. I think it's called, I forget the name of it.
Is it a soup restaurant?
No, it's like it's like some other kind of restaurant, but they make this broth, and they opened like a to-go window for the broth, so people are drinking it like they would get a coffee. In the morning,
because it's because people are dieting,
right?
And it's a part of that whole concept of bone broth, and it's good for you. Plus
all the collagen and all the good stuff.
You have good hair, teeth, and nails.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready for that. Bring it.
Yeah. So that one's coming, and then the second one is actually not a soup at all. It's we're gonna introduce a chili.
Oh, holy cow!
Yeah. So we're very excited. Yeah.
Chilies are people have a thing about that. Chili and barbecue.
It's very hotly contested.
People have their way about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what now? Where your people from? Like, whose chili you make? Everybody's very particular about.
Of course.
We can't mess around with anybody's chili or barbecue or potato salad.
I'll tell you what. I can just look at a chili and know if I want it or not.
If you want it.
Yeah. I don't like the ones. So I think there's 2 extremes. I think there's on one side you have the ones that look just like chopped meat and like red chopped meat, and there's like nothing else.
Like sloppy joes.
Yeah, right. Literally like sloppy joes. And I look at those and I was like, no, that's not for me. And then on the other extreme, it's just like all sauce. Maybe like an onion or 2 in there and a bunch of beans.
No, I like chili with all the things.
I like the things too. I like peppers,
tomatoes.
Yes.
A couple of different kinds of beans in there.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. So
on that girl.
That is what
I
our chili
like
will
it
be.
chunky.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it runny. I like it. I like to be able to eat my chili almost with the fork.
Yeah.
That's how I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
So that.
So if you put it on something, it stays on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can make a sandwich out of it. If
yes.
You want to. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yep. So that's coming. And we have a couple of other things up our sleeves, but we're still workshopping them. So
okay,
I'd
all right.
Rather
that's
not
all right.
say, because if it doesn't happen, somebody's gonna be mad.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna be at the New Haven Free Public Library.
Yes.
And have you decided on hours yet, or have they told you?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the library hours are.
Yeah.
Are they open? What's happening?
What are they? I know they open at 9. But I don't know what time they close, actually. The office hours, I have decided on the days. So it's going to be Wednesdays and Thursdays for office hours. The programs will, I've got some more flexibility around that because my plan is to bring people from New Haven into the library.
Yeah.
For panel discussions I'm not going to be running every single program. There's going to be other people who will come in and, I'll moderate or I'll be there, but I want to hear from the expertise that's already out there.
Because they do. I went to a business workshop there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, last fall, me and Michelle Turner, and we sat through a couple of weeks of somebody was doing them. I think the SBA.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe. I think it was them.
Yeah.
I don't know, somebody. It was really engaging.
They have a bunch of organizations that go in there. The SBA's in there. I don't know if they're a part of the SBA, but there's.
Or maybe it was SCORE.
SCORE, yeah, that's.
It was SCORE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was SCORE.
Right.
And so we sat in on that, and that was quite kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think for me, because there are these other places that exist, SCORE and things of the like.
And the city has a business development center on Dixwell, right?
Right.
Is that open?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just asking.
I don't know.
Asking for the people.
Yeah, I don't. I've been in there a couple of times. I don't know how many folks just like from.
I don't know.
From like off Dixwell Ave
there?
are walking in to get services. I don't know that that's I don't know that it's not happening, but I've not seen it.
Have you gone over there?
Yeah.
Are you gonna pop over there? Or you've been over there?
I've been over there. Yeah. In another role, in another life, like a year ago, we had regular meetings there.
Is it a nice space?
It is nice. Yeah.
I thought, because I remember the mayor saying, it's a co-working space. Like you could go over there and.
Oh. Okay.
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's not true. I have not seen that.
All right.
I have not seen that, and I have not been in spaces
I would love
where,
to see some co-working space in the hood.
Yeah, that would be great.
Seriously.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think that's the bane of the existence of some of these small businesses. They don't have a place to call home.
Yeah.
There's
a spot over on what is that? Shelton Ave. It's like this big factory.
Oh, I know it. My ex-neighbor, my old neighbor owns that building.
Okay. Yeah. It's
and there's people in there.
There's a lot of people in there.
There's all kinds of incubated stuff in there.
Interesting stuff in there. Yeah. There's some digital media in there. It's a rehearsal space. One of the bands I play in rehearses there.
Okay. So there's some space over there.
Yeah.
I always forget about that space, and because right across the parking lot is the Stone people, and they've got some tricked out space too that I've gone to a couple of wine tastings and events.
Oh, really?
You might want to go across there and check them out. Okay. They have a working kitchen with a pizza oven.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, this is news to me. I love that.
And then they have a whole kind of like gallery space where you could host things.
Okay.
Because I was there at a thing. So
isn't that the Stone place?
Yeah, right across the parking lot.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I don't know the name of it. And lovely people that own it.
Okay.
I went to an AKA function. They had a wine tasting.
No kidding.
Somebody else had a jazz thing there.
That's great. Because we are actually looking for venues to do our tasting event for soap opera.
Well, go think about that place because they have a working kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen is key.
The kitchen is part of the thing.
Oh, that's great.
So if you wanted to host something.
Right.
And they're Stone people, so they've got tricked out Stone.
Right.
Because what they're trying to do is showcase the Stone. Like, of course, if you want this look, you can have this at your house.
You can have this right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
that's great.
So it's a nice space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it.
So you're a musician too.
I am.
I had you on before. We talked about this.
Yeah.
You were Tabisa,
Mm-hmm.
she's a force of nature.
She is. She is. I was just with her last night. We had rehearsal last night.
I was like, oh my God, that. And she was talking to me about her daughters, and she was like, oh,
yeah.
I was like, girl, as someone on the other end of this,
yeah. She's she's not just getting started, but her children are still relatively young.
Yes, relatively young.
So she's got a little ways.
Yeah, she was telling me about the talk back, like somebody talked back, and she was like,
"That's probably her son." That's what I would imagine.
She was like, "Wait a minute." She's like, "Is this what I have to look forward to?" I was like, "Girl."
She might have finally found somebody to match her energy. So he could give her a run for money.
Comes back around. Let me tell you. I was like, girl, whatever you did in your life as growing up, you might want to call your parents and make amends so that the karmas could change a little bit for you.
Do it now. Yeah.
She was like, Babz, the back. I was like, she's like, I turned around.
Couldn't even believe it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
They're great though.
Yes. She's talented.
She's amazing.
She is really, and y'all are an amazing band.
Oh, thank you very much.
What?
I appreciate that.
I love that y'all opened up the international festival.
That
was such a well thought out. Whoever thought that up, that was the best thing they've done.
Yeah, it was just like an honor, I think, for everyone involved. But for me, like growing up here, and going to countless concerts on the Green. To turn around and be on the big stage was just.
It was great.
It was just an honor.
I mean, it was right for the International Festival of Arts and Ideas. It was New Haven Day, and it was perfect. And I could not believe how good. Not that I couldn't believe. I'm just grateful that they had the presence of mind to sort of tap her.
Yeah.
And
it was a very, very well run event too.
Yeah.
They really
this
did
year.
New Haven proud. Well, yes, this year. I mean, and all I can speak to is my experience with it, right? But we were backstage and it was beautiful. Everything was.
No, it's actually one of my favorite things. I love when the International Festival of Arts and Ideas pops off.
I do too.
I love it, and I love the evolution of it because now I'm starting to feel like it feels like a festival. A part of New Haven instead of a festival that happens in New Haven.
That's right. Yeah. That's a good description, actually.
Because I think for many years it just felt like it just happened in New Haven, and New Haven was like, well, you can come if you want to.
You can come or not. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like it's here if you want to show up.
If you want to show up, but now, it's like, okay, we want New Haven to really feel like this is their festival.
Yeah, for sure.
And the rest of the world can come in.
It is really it's a beautiful event because there really is. More so than I think anything else. There's something for everybody.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
If you want intellectual pursuit, those talks are amazing.
Right.
And there's like a gazillion of them.
There are. Yeah.
I tried to make as many as I could. I was like,
it's hard to keep up. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. If you're a person that wants to be a part of everything, you're gonna be
exhausted.
Hard pressed. Yeah, for sure.
I was making choices. I was like, okay,
right.
I want to go to this. I can't go to that.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll go to this and then I'll go to that. And then I'll stay for this for a minute. And then you end up staying and then you miss the whole other thing. I was like,
right.
Yeah. I don't think it's meant for you to see everything.
No, it's not. No, you can't. No, you can't. There's definitely tons of simultaneous things happening that you have to make choices.
You have to suck it up and just like, okay, I'm going to miss that.
I'm going to miss that. Yeah.
But I saw the house thing, the one about home or house or whatever it was. That was crazy good.
Yeah. I don't even know what that was.
Oh, my God.
There you have it.
They built a house on stage.
Oh,
and then interacted and then like made everybody interact with it.
Oh, wow.
Like brought us up on stage like it was a party, a celebration, a funeral.
Wow.
And it was just this apartment building or it was this house. And they built the frame and the floors and the whole nine. And so the choreography was you saw all the different people that lived there. And they were all there at the same time, but they were moving as if they were the only ones in the space.
Oh, interesting.
It was unbelievably incredible.
Yeah.
I just was like,
that's cool.
And they showed you what life is like. You fall in love, you get married, you get divorced, you age, you have kids, parents, someone dies, someone gets married. The cycle starts all over again.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So.
That is pretty amazing. Yeah. I think underlying this, like the artistry of it all. It's one of the things that I think has made the festival so much more accessible to New Havenites is this this notion that for a time they were getting these people from all over the world.
Yeah.
And they still do that, but like completely overlooking New Haven.
What's happening here?
Right.
Like all this talent here.
Yeah. And I think recently, in the past couple of years, there's been much more intentional focus on the amazing A-list quality artists and work that's happening right here in the city.
Yeah.
Which is actually another part of my motivation for some of the programs that I want to do, which is to bring in working artists and have them talk about how they are or aren't making a living on their art. Because I think that's an
oh my God, that's huge.
Powerful
well, you
conversation.
Have to, you know, I'm on the Arts Council. So
I didn't know that. Okay.
So this is a conversation for the Arts Council to be a part of too.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I think that would be information that is necessary.
I couldn't agree more.
How do artists sustain themselves?
Yeah, and straddling both of those worlds, right? So me being a musician, but also an entrepreneur in other circles, there seems to be a clear-cut path for me as an entrepreneur, as clear-cut as it can be, in selling soup, right? I know what I need to do. I know how to, sort of increase my sales and do that kind of stuff. And it's hard work, but there's a way forward. I don't think it's that clear for artists.
For artists, yeah.
Just generally, I think there's a lot more guesswork. I think there's a lot more sort of trial and error, and probably that's true for a lot of different things. But there's something I think unique about what the space that art holds in people's minds.
I think that's a good conversation to have with Titus at Next Haven.
Yeah, I would
because
love that.
I think he is trying to do just that, to incubate artists in their own sustainability.
Yeah.
Right, to get them to sort of like, you want to do this life, then these are the things you need to do so that you can do this life and not like, bag groceries at the local whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which artists do. So because
for sure, because you got to make ends meet.
You got to make ends meet,
yeah.
And your art comes first, but you still got to pay the bills.
Well, Mr. Kafair, if you're listening, and
sometimes he does.
Take my call. My name is Eric Ray. Take my call when I call you.
You know what? This is who you need to call. Nico Whedon. Okay. She's the executive director.
Great.
Of Next Haven. Wonderful sister.
Okay.
Came from Studio Museum in Harlem.
Fantastic.
And she's rooted here now.
Great.
I'm gonna catch up with her in September, because she's like trying to get her travel in and then come back, because they've got fellows over there already working, their first crop of fellows and apprentices or whatever it is. So that'd be a wonderful conversation, because I think art and entrepreneurial is going to crash, and something is going to be born out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And artists can elevate themselves.
It has to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to. And it's such a vibrant sort of economic engine.
Yeah.
The arts, in all shapes and forms. And ultimately, we don't pay attention to that at our own detriment. And I think New Haven is extraordinarily progressive in a lot of ways, but for some reason, somehow, the arts seem to have been a little bit left out of the business and economic growth conversation.
Yeah.
I think with ECA and stuff, like, we have education and so there's some of that stuff is here for sure. But I don't see a sort of clear outlet for things like incubation outside of what Next Haven is doing. And then supporting of young, or not young, but new artists. And different from, I was in Hartford not too long ago. And I walked into this building. This whole building is a huge building. It's like dedicated to just artists, and it's like these little studios inside. It's like,
is that the one right off the highway?
Yeah, it's not far from. I don't know the name of it. I was there. Why was I there?
I think it was it used to be the rifle factory.
Yes, that place. Yep.
They've been working on that for like 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that it's
up and running, and it's beautiful, and having a space, because the other thing I think that's important, particularly for artists, is that collaboration. So that same thing that happens in incubators for business, where you can trade ideas and you can sort of be with others who are doing the same thing, and so there's something sort of powerful and encouraging about that. I think that same space is needed for artists in a very
well. You know, they're
intentional
working
way.
on that factory in at the beginning of Fairhaven over there in the East Street.
Okay.
That whole factory is
Right.
going to become artist community.
Great.
With storefront for artists and working studios for artists and housing
That's fantastic.
for artists.
Yeah, that's important.
Like affordable housing.
Mhm.
They're not playing with this.
Yeah.
And because there's a whole documentary being made about the factory, about this building, because it had right now, well, the Gentlemen's Club just left it.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was brick and wood. It was all these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's going to be reinvented and reimagined into artist space.
Well, that's timely.
Yes. So I can't wait to see what that looks like.
Great.
Studios and lofts, that kind of thing, in that space. And it's like, on the outskirts of downtown so people can access it,
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the direction that I'd like to take this in, and I'm excited to do it.
So how do you get people in the door at the library? Like, do you have a plan for that?
Well, so I'll be talking about stuff on social media for sure. I'm here talking about it, and hopefully this will generate a little bit of interest, or a lot of bit of interest. And yeah, just I'm hoping that people see something compelling. I mean, there's already a universe of people who are aware of the EIR position, and people are going in the previous EIR.
Oh, there was a previous?
Yeah, there were two previous actually.
I had no idea.
I'm the third. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I
had no idea.
Yeah. So there we are, right? So already the visibility
elevated.
has been increased. So that's a good thing.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But one of the things that the previous EIR has said is that the office hours turned out to be the most popular part of his work. So his office hours were booked for like a month or 2 months in advance.
That's good,
people
right?
coming, yeah, it's great. People coming in and having sort of very specific pointed questions and getting help on their venture and doing that kind of stuff. So
so will people be able to access you one-on-one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love group stuff, I don't really like group stuff.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff I need to I need I need a tutor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
sure.
what I mean?
And that's exactly what this is for. And what's nice about this is the kind of thing that people would pay big bucks for.
Yes.
But it's it's being covered, and people can get help, and it's exciting for me because now I'm able to help a broader group of folks.
That's
right.
Good.
Like one of the challenges that I kind of faced as an early coach, as a young coach, or starting to build my practice, was I struggled with there's a group of people that I want to serve, but it's those folks that can't really afford to pay my rate.
I know,
right? And I still have my own bills and my own things I need to manage, right? So that meant that I had to kind of go looking for ways to make this work. And, and this is one of the ways that surfaced.
Well, I mean, I am very interested in seeing what you do with the artist community, because just in my travels, I know a lot of artists who are entrepreneurial in spirit.
Yeah.
And they have product and wares to peddle, and they don't know how to, get out of their own artistic way to sort of be forward thinking about, well, listen, you're making cards or earrings or jewelry. You can sell these things.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And set a price and not feel like, you're sacrificing your artistry because this is your business.
Yeah. It's interesting, so I've always been a creative in some shape or form. I also am a crafter. I make things.
I know.
Yeah. So I can remember sort of early on being so enamored with my own work that I wasn't wanting to part with it.
And I know so many artists that are that.
You know what I mean? And it was and having this conversation about money almost felt vulgar.
Insulting, right?
It almost felt like, no, I'm
every
not.
Artist I know.
There's no price on this.
Yes.
How much is it? What
Swear
do
to
you mean,
God,
how much?
I've gone to artist house and they have work up, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
how much?
What? How much? Get out of here. Yeah. No, it's a thing. It's 100% a thing. And I think that reflects the sort of personal expression that comes from art, and how do you put a price on that?
Yeah.
While at the same time sort of recognizing that if this is what you want to free yourself to be able to do all the time,
you must sell this
you've
stuff.
got to sell it.
You cannot have a house full of your art.
That's
I mean,
right.
you could, but
you could, but you also probably won't make a living there.
Yes.
So yeah, so it's a delicate balance, I think, but also, when you get there, I mean, one of the things that was empowering for me is I just decided, like, what would be an amount that I'll put on this that I would be happy to get in exchange for this piece of work.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so and being able to stick to that and say, like, well, this, I would be ecstatic if I got this. As much as I love the piece, I'll take that little bit of change and
go make another piece.
And go make another piece. And I did that, and I said it to the first person, and I was scared out of my wits, and it's like, oh, this is crazy, and they're gonna laugh at me and whatever. And the individual,
like they just forked it over.
They didn't even balk. They didn't even.
Like, all right,
they
thank
didn't
you.
bat an eyelash. They were legit, like,
put it in the bag. Thank you. Bye.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a good day. This is amazing. And I
you're
was
like, whoa,
what? This is a thing? What? And I haven't looked back ever since.
That's great. Isn't that great?
It is.
See, I want everybody to have that feeling, and then be able to, like, put that in the bank.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
yeah. Honestly. Well, and you know what? I think there's also something about your own sense of, like, your own self-esteem. When that kind of thing happens, that somebody is willing to, make this trade with you.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. That really is encouraging, for sure. So, so that part of it has been great. And like I said, when I look back, I make pieces now, and there's some pieces I'll make one night, the next day they're gone. It's like,
yeah, now you understand it.
Yeah.
And the emotional part of it has lessened.
Yeah.
See, that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah.
That's because you're an entrepreneur too. Entrepreneur. So maybe that kicks in.
Yeah.
They be like, listen,
right.
the entrepreneur is like, listen.
Yeah.
We got to pay the light bills. We like the way we live in.
We have some assets.
Yes.
And we can move those assets.
See, that's where I need to get.
Yeah.
I am the asset. I am the asset, and I need to sort of now that the asset of me is moving.
Yeah.
I need to sort of create a whole thing so that I can move freely in the world a little better, and not be like. And that's why the LLC, which I have this thing for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I've not done a damn thing with it.
Time, Babz.
It is time.
Yeah.
And I've talked to people about this on and off for years.
Legitimately come see me.
And I've not had people sort of give me the help or the focus that I needed.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Right.
what now?
Yeah.
I don't understand any of that. Right. So.
Yeah.
I'm coming to see you.
We would definitely have a
for real.
conversation, because already I'll just tell you what I hear quickly. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but what I hear is this is not about a business plan. This is not about that might be what you think, but actually there's something just underneath the surface there. We'll talk about whatever that thing might be.
There you go.
And then we'll move that out of the way.
Because I'm trying to fund my life to Rwanda.
Well, let's do it.
And Paris.
Okay.
I'm trying to live in 3 places.
Got it.
Rwanda, Paris, and New Haven.
Oh, we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah. So Kigali, Paris, New Haven.
Great.
So I want that on my cards.
Okay.
I already see that.
Let's
now,
make that
now
happen.
I gotta make that.
Yeah. It sounds like you're already claiming it. So that's
I am claiming.
So that's fantastic.
I
now,
am claiming it.
Let's put some resources behind that, both emotional, mental, spiritual, all that kind of stuff.
See, this
And
is
then we'll
sometimes
make it
you wait
happen.
for things because God is like, all right, I'm going to make you be in the desert bath for 20 years. And then here comes Ray and he will lead you.
Well, that's what it is. You know, when I, because this often comes up in the context of coaching too, that people who have wanted to do a thing forever and ever. And then I say, well, like, what's stopping you from doing it? And they'll say something that's in like the real world. They'll say, well, you know, my kids, and well, this and that and the third. And I say, well, you know, there's lots of people who. And
that's not even my deal, because I've done lots of things in spite of children and husband and ex-husband and jail and I've done all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But now the focus is really on moving to a place where the sustainability is not tied to a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
That's really what it is for me.
I hear that loud and clear.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't work a 9-to-5 now. And I like to maintain this. Like,
yeah, me too. I'm the same way. I left an office job. It's been 2 years now. And I haven't looked back.
It's the freedom. I just.
It's the thing that makes me feel wealthy, honestly.
Me too.
Being able to control my schedule.
Yes.
And work at my, I wouldn't call it my leisure per se, but I get to decide.
And I can live within means. Like, I'm not a person that cannot live within means. Because I know how to have extravagance on a shoestring.
Yeah.
I do. I know how to do that.
Right.
So that's not the thing. But to create this, and I see it with other people who have done it, who have created entrepreneurial lives that sustain them and move them forward.
Yeah.
And I want to be in that crowd, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and I
let's do
think,
it.
you know, and I think this is, you know, when I look at folks who are coming out of prisons, men and women and kids, you know, and how the doors are shut in so many places. Yeah. And if they can just tap into, you know, and I know you've done this work, like you've helped them, you know, overcome or see, you know, just because you've done that thing, you can move in another direction.
People have a tendency to define themselves by the worst moments of their lives.
Yes. And
that,
I was guilty of that too.
And that becomes their story.
Yes.
Right? And the more you can take that narrative back.
Yes.
And rewrite that narrative. I tell people all the time, we've all had the experience of seeing a movie 3, 4, 5 times, right? And on the third time you see the movie, you see something
that you didn't see the first two times.
The first time, right? So I always ask them, I ask my clients, I say, what's changed? Did you watch the director's cut this time? No. You saw the same movie. It's the same exact, nothing has changed in the movie. So if you're seeing something different, what's changed? And that's like I've changed. You've changed.
Yes.
You're different now. And the same is true with the movie of your own life.
Yes.
When you go back and revisit these stories, older, wiser, more experienced, or just from a different perspective, a different frame, all of a sudden, these narratives that have been limiting you all this time, they have less power.
Yes.
They have less power over you.
And that's the thing to get people through.
Yeah.
The lesser story. I always talk about the lesser story. Like, stop living in your lesser story, because the greater story is the one that you create, and you have the right to be happy and move forward. Don't let people shoot you down.
And the one you're still creating, the one that you're making right here, right now in the moment.
Absolutely. So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to live this life that I want, and I see it very clearly.
Yeah.
And I've already made moves.
Right.
Like, you know, gave up the house, you know, the big 2,500 square foot house, and the really fancy, nice neighborhood.
That's a big deal.
Now I'm in a.
You know what? And here's something that I think that you're highlighting, Babz. When I hear you say that, to me, there is a sense that, you know, as you're moving forward and particularly pursuing, you know, your passions and your dreams and everything, that everything on that road is cherries. And it's not. There's real loss.
Yes.
There are things that you're going to have to let go in order to pursue your dream, right?
And that's people, places, and things.
And that's what it is. That's what it is. And so acknowledging that can be the first step to sort of saying, okay, like, my happiness and my fulfillment actually is going to come at a cost.
Yes.
There are some things, some people, some places, some habits that I'm gonna
that
have
you have
to
to give up.
and that's actually gonna feel like a loss.
Yeah.
And it's okay to mourn those.
Yes.
It's okay to say, like, yeah, I really like that. I like
Yeah.
that house. I
Yeah.
like that
I
fireplace.
did. I love my house
That
and
was
my
great.
loved it. But now I'm on another journey.
But I have something else. Right. I had that. It was great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for that experience. And now I'm ready for this other thing, and I'm clearing that space in my
Yes.
life for that.
I tell you,
to come.
when I left my house, before I left my house, I walked in every room and I said, "Thank you, house, for providing shelter for us, for my children,
Oh, that's
and
beautiful.
giving them a place to grow up that was happy and full of memories." And now I'm letting you go to somebody else that'll,
That's beautiful.
and I let it go.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this new space that's very bohemian,
Yeah.
right, and urban, and just black as all get out.
Nice. You're at home.
I'm at home.
You're at home. Yeah.
And every day I walk in there, I'm like, this is my space. I could trick it however way I want.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you do have to give up things. And once you start to do that, the path becomes, I think, for me, clear.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because I know where I want to be. And I can't get there with the weight of the things that I was trying to hold on for the look of things.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So ego was like, I had to put the ego down. And the ego got packed away too. It's like, I don't care. I don't care what people think. This is where I want. I want to be in Kigali, Rwanda.
Yeah.
I want to be in Paris, France. And I want to be in New Haven.
That's lovely. Yeah.
And all points in between.
I love that.
That's it.
I love that for you.
So I have to figure this out.
Yeah. Piece by piece. It's one step at a time, right? It seems like this huge mountain to climb, but everything starts with one step at a time.
And I like to do it before I get to assisted living.
Yeah. Well, they don't have to be slow steps.
Right.
They also don't have to be short steps.
Okay. That's a good point, Ray. That's a good point.
But just one step at a time.
Okay.
But they don't have to be short or slow. Okay, they can happen quickly.
Oh, I like that.
They can unfold for sure.
I don't think people ever say that to anybody.
Yeah.
People always just like, you have to take the steps, and then we always assume, it's going to be a long, arduous.
No. You can decide, and you can take a couple of quick steps. I can take a handful of steps and be totally outside this building.
Yes, I like that.
And totally change.
Oh my God! So you have to come back and let's come back on a regular basis to talk about this.
No.
Seriously, like I do this with Anru on the African spiritual plane, but you could come on and we could do just this kind of talking about coaching
I'd be happy to
and all of that. I think this would be fun. I think people would enjoy it. Like people are in the room now checking it out.
Nice.
Hey Seth Poole. Hey Ife.
What's up, friends? Friends and fam, love it.
So I appreciate you coming on today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so
I'm
much
coming
for
right
having me.
over there as soon as September turns and you set up them office hours or whatever it is.
I'm not kidding. It'd be my
Listen,
great
I will
pleasure.
be your first guinea pig. I don't care.
Well, you know what? That could be fodder for us to talk about.
Yes.
The journey. It'll keep you accountable for sure.
Oh, listen. Oh. Spoken like a true coach.
It's not always going to be pancakes, Babz. Sometimes it's going to be dry toast.
No, I don't. Ray, don't I know it? Don't I know it, Mr. Ray?
Yeah.
I know it.
Yep.
I know it. So anyway, yeah, that'd be fun. I could make that the journey. That's cool. I could do that.
Cool.
I could absolutely do that. All right, Harry, I'm about to play us out. We good? Thank you so much, Eric.
This goes by so quick every time I hear it.
know.
It's hard to even believe. One quick thing that, if I could say.
Yeah, you have all the time.
Amongst all of the other very cool stuff, I think the thing that I'm like the most unbelievably proud of is a men's group that I'm
oh yes,
starting.
yes.
It's the Black Obsidian men's group.
Uh-huh.
We're going to be having a retreat in December. Applications will be coming out very, very soon. It's specifically for.
Do you have an ad for that, like a poster or flyer you can send me? I can start running in the fall.
You know what?
Or do you not want that kind of?
No, I'm open to that. I don't have one. I will get one.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting with a retreat. Then there will be other sort of chapters of the men's group that I'll be providing some technical assistance for and some coaching for the facilitators. And it's really about men coming together, talking about, masculinity, what it is to be a Black man in America in 2019. I want to have all different kinds of men in the room, older men, younger men, all sexual orientations, all religious backgrounds, because I think there's something to learn from everybody.
Okay.
And if you're not a man who's like in a frat or goes to fellowship at church or what have you, there's just no place to be intentional about getting that.
That's a good point. And men need that because women make that all the time.
Right.
We make these groups, and we make what we need in fellowship and friendships and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if men have that
we just
skill.
relate differently. We relate differently. Like there's this notion that like women can be face to face. So like you and I are sitting right now and we can talk, right? But men will be shoulder to shoulder, right? So it's just done differently. But that often happens as a consequence of doing something else.
Okay.
It's not an intentional conversation around healing and getting better. It's like we're going fishing. And as we go fishing, we'll talk about, well, I'm having this problem, and my daughter's this, and my son's having this, and whatever. And then that's where those conversations happen. But that's not intentional. And if the moment's not right, or if
it doesn't come up,
it doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm suggesting is let's do that same thing, except let's be intentional about saying, actually, no, we're coming together so that we can heal and we can talk to each other.
Listen, if you could get some healed brothers, that would be a beautiful thing.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Because there's be some sisters waiting on the shores.
Indeed. Yeah.
Thank you, Eric Ray.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
We're going to set up another day so you could come so we could just do more of this.
Great. I love
this
that.
is fun.
Yeah.
I think this is good. I think this is necessary. Hey, Maza. Miss Montero.
Hey, Maz.
So, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Harry, I'm playing us out.
Wheels keep spinning to the morning light, spinning to the morning light, spinning to the morning light.